Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Another week, another episode. We are back with another topic that we are both definitely still learning to implement and trust, but I think we're both passionate about it and passionate about implementing it and sharing it with everyone.
Definitely.
And that is winging it with intention, and that you don't necessarily need a 5-year plan.
There's so much pressure to have a 5-year plan and to have everything planned out and know exactly where you're going to be, and I have kids at this age and I'm going to have this job at this age and I'm going to make this amount of money at this age, and life doesn't necessarily listen to your plans.
Exactly. And I think there's a lot of power in like having goals and having like a structure of what do I want in life. But I think what we don't want is setting it in stone so you can disappoint yourself. And like being disappointed when life takes turns and you are taking new opportunities and new things come across your path, and then not taking those opportunities, running with it, but rather being like, nope, I have a plan. I'm sticking to it. No, like tunnel vision, because I think you miss a lot of life when you live that way.
Yeah. If you give up so many things because at the end of the day, like that's the thing that you want, and you get to that point and you realize actually that's not the vibe, like where do you go from there? So rather like have an open mind in the like building phase and in the like becoming phase. It's not going to happen exactly like you planned, and just let it like play out.
Yes, exactly.
Take the opportunities, chase the open doors, just live a little. And when we were talking about this before this episode, one of the things that I think we both felt is a lot of times in life, our 5-year plan, for example, getting married, having kids, career goals, whatever. It could be a 5-year plan, and then one of two things happens. Either in the first year you achieve almost everything you wanted to achieve in 5 years, or maybe some things take longer than 5 years and they, extend to a 10-year plan. And either way, it's a very difficult mind space to be in, because you're either disappointed or you're like, what am I doing for the next 5 years? Because I've achieved everything I wanted to. Yeah. That's where I would lean into, or where I choose to lean into, going with the flow. And that's not saying sit and do nothing. Don't chase hobbies, don't chase passions, don't work in something, because I think that can get confused. I think something that we both realized throughout the past few years of our lives is that direction is more important than a detailed plan. You don't need to know exactly that's what you want to achieve, and there's no gray area type thing. It's black and white. If you just focus on the things that are important to you to start out with, understand, and I think this comes back to understanding yourself and getting to know yourself and what's important to you and what you want to achieve, and it's just who you are at the end of the day. What makes you happy, what makes you tick, what do you want to, what change do you want to bring into the world type of thing. If you understand that, then you'll understand your direction and what you want to, what your purpose is. And
I agree.
if you understand yourself and what you want and your purpose and who you are, then it kind of sets the scene of your direction, which I think is really cool.
It is, yeah. And then it allows you to chase curiosities, to chase new adventures. We speak a lot about that, but all you can do is fail. And yes, there's a lot of things that can fall under that. But I think chasing new opportunities, when opportunities come across your path, even just looking into them, allowing the space in your life to even consider the opportunity, consider the adventure. And sometimes it's a no. I remember a year back that I was sitting with me and she had this opportunity to buy a brand. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
And she just allowed the space of how would my life look if I do this? How would everything, and it was a no. It was no, I don't think I'm doing it. But just allowing that space opens the world up to you.
Yeah.
Allowing it to run through your brain, considering it. And it was a no, and that's fine. She continued, and she's still doing okay.
But I think, that's the thing, is allow yourself to be open and look into those opportunities. And because even in that situation, as I did my homework, I understood exactly where that business was, where it was financially.
There's intention behind it.
There's so much intention behind it to figure out, can I actually see myself
building this business, I did my homework. I delved so deep into what that would look like, what the finances look like, what this looks like, how I would build this part of the business. There were so many factors, and then at the end of the day, I decided, you know what, no, this is not necessarily what I want for myself, and that's okay.
100%,
I think we need to be curious, and I think even looking back at my life, or like the past 5 years of my life, is I studied something without any idea of what I wanted to do. I had no idea. But I studied something that I could work in any industry with, preferably a creative industry. And then when I started looking for a job, I couldn't find a job that I wanted in the industry that I wanted. And so I went into like a pure corporate, very much not a creative space, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Setting. And that was beautiful. And I learned so much from that. And I loved that at the end of the day. But then I was just so curious about so many other things. I was so curious about fashion, and I was so curious about like working for myself. And that's basically what I chased, because I decided, you know what, I'm young. I don't really have
much.
I don't really have much going on. Yes, I'm in a great job, but I can always come back to this industry. So I decided to take that leap and to chase the things that I was curious about. A lot of it went amazing, and a lot of it failed, and
it's okay.
But I learned through every one of those experiences, and I'm very grateful that I was so curious, because, I mean, comparing myself now and everything that I've learned in the past year to like Danelle a year and a half ago, it's a completely different person with different goals and different outlook on life, a different perspective, so many things. And so being curious, it's so fun.
It is fun,
I don't want to sit on my little patio when I'm 80 years old and like regret not chasing something that I thought would like make me happy.
And I think the important thing of what you just said is like the intention behind it is always important, and to base your intention, because you have values, you have things that you believe in, like things you're passionate about, whatever, like as you said, it sets the scene and sets your foundation. And then everything you're curious about, we're not saying take every single opportunity that comes to pass. Like we're saying consider it, look into it. Don't just shut the door because you're scared or because... And I think looking back, if my 5-year plan, if we followed through with it, we're 25 now. So if at 20, we set a 5-year plan, my 5-year plan wouldn't be how my life played out
at all. Even mine.
But isn't that so exciting? Where I am in my life now is so much more exciting than what I had in store for myself 5 years back.
I
so
completely agree.
And I think what's important to remember is that any plan or any 5-year plan is just a guess. It's a guess that it's going to work out, a guess that your life will look a certain way at a certain point. It's just not always like that. Things don't always work out like that. I took a guess of how, for example, a school system would work and how I would feel in it and how I would thrive in it. And my guess was wrong. I felt differently about it. Loved the opportunity, just felt differently than I thought I would. But it was all a guess. I mean, I can guess how I'd feel as a CEO of a company, like a big company. I don't know how I'd really feel when you get there. So it's okay then to change. And then also like your life changes. You can... suddenly get crazy opportunities and be in a total different space. You can suddenly get the opportunity to move and just your environment changes. And so a lot can happen that's out of your control, which can contribute to this 5-year plan.
Exactly. I don't want this to come across as like a negative, don't have a 5-year plan, just do whatever you want. Not at all. What we're saying is actually just live a little, take a step back, take the opportunities that make you really happy or that bring a lot of joy. Just take it as it comes.
Yes.
I think if you're setting those expectations, you're setting yourself up to fail and you're setting yourself up to be disappointed. And I'm not saying that you're definitely going to be disappointed if you achieve the thing that you really want or you think you want now in 5 years. Stop putting so much pressure on it. Like loosen your grip. I was telling Danelle a story that I heard the other day. It was actually from a sermon. The guy was saying that he was gymming really hard and he got an injury in his elbow.
And he was speaking to the doctor about it, and he was like, yeah, it's because I lift all these heavy weights, you know? And the doctor actually said, no, it's not the weight you're lifting, it's the grip you have on the weight that's hurting you. That really made him think about how we are in our life and how much control we want to have. Because it's not necessarily that we want to have control, or that we want to have... I think it's a human thing to want to control things in our life, but it's the grip we have that can hurt us. And so when we're so focused and so like, we need to hold on tight to this, we lose a lot of ourselves, but a lot of the joy.
Exactly.
We let go of it. And I think that's where the problem comes. Wanting to control your environment, wanting to feel safe and, you know, feel secure is a natural thing. But you need to loosen your grip and allow change and allow things to happen, because you never know, it might just make you so much happier.
100%. Life kind of just happens around us. If you're not open to experiencing it and you're just chasing like something very specific and this 5-year plan that you've set out for yourself, and I need to get married by this age and I need to have kids by this age, what if you lose your soulmate somewhere here in the middle because you were like, no, it's not time yet, go away?
Exactly. No, it's very true.
Or you miss an opportunity, a career opportunity, because no, actually that's not what I want. Yet. Yeah, it's not time yet.
Yes.
Or no, actually I want to do this before I do this. I think the beauty of being in our 20s is the fact that you can just try a bunch of things, and you probably don't have wild responsibilities and mortgages and whatever yet, so why not? So
why not try everything?
Exactly. Every little like curious thought that comes up, look into it. I'm not saying like chase every single thing and try every single thing. Just look at the things that like actually spark something in you, and you're like, oh, actually, like, let's look into this. But if you find something that like sparks some sort of curiosity or sparks some type of joy, why not just look into it on a weekend when you're not working, or after work, or before work, or listen to a podcast on the way to work? Whatever it may be, is find time to like satisfy those curiosities. So I had a conversation with someone the other day, and he is much older than I am, like
much older,
like 80s.
Yeah.
I was just like asking him out about like how his perspective changed throughout his life, and like what he would do differently if he could go back. And he just stopped me and said, let me just give you some advice. Your day is split into thirds. 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. 8 hours is for sleep, and good sleep, and don't compromise on that. And then 8 hours for your job. And those are the hours that you need to be super ambitious, and that you need to work really hard, and that you have to build something that you're proud of or that makes a difference. And then you have 8 hours that is your free time. How do you spend your 8 hours that is your free time? And I understand the world has kind of changed a lot in that perspective, where you don't just work for 8 hours, you work for like 10 hours. So let's say, okay, you have 6 hours a day for...
That's a lot to think about, eh?
Right? You have 6 hours for like your personal time and like your free time. What do you do with 6 hours? Do you spend it with family? Do you build on something that like really makes you happy? Do you go to the gym? Are you actually investing in yourself, or are you using those 6 hours to scroll or to chill on the couch and not do anything? Like, how are you basically taking the little time that you have per day for yourself and for your people that are important to you, and actually like using that time?
Sure. That's so powerful.
Which I think is quite cool. And just very sweet.
It is very sweet.
Yeah.
And it just makes you think, like, what do you do with that time? Because I think what I do with my 6 hours, I can't imagine spending 6 hours on my, like...
By yourself.
By myself.
Yeah.
Or even on, like, my personal things. You know what I mean? Like, that seems very long.
It is. It seems very long, but it's technically 2 hours in the morning and, like, 4 hours in the afternoon or at night.
Before you go to bed.
Where it goes so quickly. Like, if you think about it, every day you have these 6 hours, technically, like, in and around 6 hours. What do we actually do with that time? Like, it just passes. Like, every day we have the same 6 hours. What are we doing with it? Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, not every day, but you get what I'm saying. We're not being intentional with
it. It's true. And I mean, looking back, he's probably like, shit, what did I do with my 6 hours? You know?
Yeah.
Like, he's probably wondering, Sure, deep.
It's just, I think it's good, like it's really good advice.
It's a great perspective, yeah.
To be more intentional. But basically what I'm trying to say is take that 6 hours and preferably spend it with people that you love. But if you take 2 hours of that and actually invest in yourself, and
in a passion
or a curiosity or whatever it may be, and do some research and watch a documentary about it, or listen to a podcast about it, or whatever it may be.
I think both of us, when we switched careers, we were speaking about this earlier, but not one of us is educated in the profession we do at the moment. I do not have a degree in business or fashion, but here I am, and some would say that's winging it. I don't know, I would agree. But we had to learn a lot. We had to learn immense amounts of information and strategies and things in our careers on a whim, but that was amazing. Trusting our gut and trusting our intuition and knowing that we are capable of doing that. I mean, I loved making clothes, I loved designing clothes, and I knew I would be capable of that. Danelle loves making events, beautiful, planning events, she's amazing in it. And we just set our intention on, we know we can do it, and we know what we believe in and dream we are chasing, and we are willing to learn a lot, pivot, to see, this does not work, turn around, do something else. And we just allowed that space in our lives. And it wasn't always easy. It's not easy at all. It's definitely the more difficult path. It was both a path me and you had to take that risk.
And like you said, you have to learn to adjust. You have to learn to new strategies, a new way of doing things. And it's so fun, like you said, we had to wing it, and we still are very much winging it. There's so much joy in that because I think we're doing it with so much intention, and we actually want to make a difference. I just feel like even through all the pivots we've made in our lives, or in the past 4 years of our lives, we've both been dancing with life and living life, actually just experiencing it and having fun with it and playing with this and trying this. And I mean, everything doesn't work, but basically what I'm trying to say is dance through life with intention. Try and actually just live a little.
Yeah.
Live a little, have fun. Don't be stupid. It's not what I'm saying, but just try different things, learn new things, chase new opportunities. If something doesn't align with you, don't chase it.
No, I completely agree with you. And I think both of us, our belief and goal is to live a life to live out what God has intended for our lives. And just by sticking with that can be such a wild ride. There's a lot of things that we can do and achieve with it, but it's not necessarily a very ordinary structured life. Some people's are, ours
not necessarily,
and that's fine and beautiful. But I think if we just keep that in mind, we are trusting that everything that's meant for us is going to come our way. Everything that's meant for us is going to succeed. No matter what we do, no matter where we go, we trust that will come to us. That's the exciting part of just taking every opportunity, because you never know what opportunity might be it, or
which doors will open, and what's the next
and we've seen with our businesses the most amazing opportunities we've gotten out of nowhere. I can speak out of my brand, literally out of nowhere. I didn't reach out to anyone or whatever, and then these amazing opportunities come across your path, and you just think, who am I to why did you choose me? Why you're asking me to do it? But it's cool because you work every day to it, and to learn and to be better, and to to ace what you're doing, and it will all work out.
And I think a big thing here is not having a 5-year plan is scary at the end of the day, because fair enough, you set yourself goals and things that you want to achieve, but I don't know where my business is going to be in 5 years. In my head, it's going to be here. But it could be here and it could be there.
Yes.
There's so many factors that play into it at the end of the day. Yeah. And if maybe one of my other businesses takes off, then cool. Then I need to pivot, because then I need to build on this and kind of put this not on the back burner, but put less into it.
Yeah.
And so we have to be able to pivot and be open to new things.
Absolutely. I agree. I think As someone who is a quite planner, I'm very much a planner. I want to know what's happening next. It's something I really had to learn, that sticking to a plan so religiously can feel like you're caged in or you're very limited. And sometimes you really do have to just say, it's okay. For example, this is a very practical example, but I hate being late. I absolutely despise being late, absolutely irritates everything in me. And there's really some times where I just have to take a breath and say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're 5 minutes late. It doesn't matter. It's okay. The world's not going to end. And I have to let go of that. But just staying so rigid against my fear of being late, of my belief in not being late, sometimes limits me and frustrates me. It takes a whole hour out of my joy because I'm so frustrated with the situation.
Yeah.
Where if you just let go of that and be like, you know what? So what? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And a lot of times in life that happens as well. And sure, with some professional careers, you need to have quite a rigid plan. But you need to allow space for possibly that plan changing.
Yeah, there's so many factors that play into it. And I think at the end of the day is people want the clarity, right? And don't get me wrong, I would love the clarity. I would love to know what the Lord has planned for my life for the next 20 years. That'd be great. If you're chasing the clarity, I do believe there's some type of fear that's stuck in there as well. And I know that there's fear connected to that clarity that you need, because it's the fear of the unknown. It's the fear of this, it's the fear of that. Could be anything. But we're so scared of trying something new and failing that we'd rather just stay in this space that is safe and makes sense and works for now. But that just seems so sad to me at the end of the day. Chase the things that actually bring you joy and that spark something in you. And if you fail, you fail. But you can always go back. Oh, no, you can't go back. But you just start building again, something new. Another piece of advice that I got out of the conversation with the man I was chatting to, that you always need to have a plan. And if this plan doesn't work, you start out with the next plan. And you have to be, not saying you have to be a planner, but you have to be a dreamer. And every plan is not going to work, and you have to fail sometimes. And it's so exciting to fail in that sense as well, because it's redirection. It sparks something new. You learn something new as well. And then you go into the next plan and you try again. And fair enough, it's not the safe way to do things, but it's the fun way.
Yeah. Or the conventional way.
Yeah.
We would like to encourage you with is just sometimes, most times, almost always, life isn't just black and white, and life does not listen to your 5-year plan. As much as sometimes I think human nature, we want it to happen like we intended it to. But there's such an exciting path of just allowing life to happen, doors to open, to look into them, to consider new plans, to consider new passions, build new hobbies, so much happiness and joy that can come from it. But it is scary, and there's a lot to learn in those spaces. We would just like to ask one reflective question that maybe you should go think about at home. Let us know in the comments if you have any thoughts on it. How has your 5-year plan changed, and how has it affected the course of your life?
If you had to go back to your 5-year plan now, is that something that you still want?
Yeah.
Or are you still just stuck on that? Yeah, or are you still just stuck on that plan that you set for yourself 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, or 2 years ago?
Okay, and then for our favorite segment of our season 2 episodes.
Woohoo! Small business of the week. I love it so much.
This week's small business is one that's very near and dear to our heart. Then I was very excited about it.
I really am.
But it's such a special movement and special heart behind the business.
Mixed is very near and dear to our hearts. Also because we want to be able to empower small businesses. We want to be able to help small local businesses grow and basically equip creatives and small businesses with something that will actually add value and something that will help them grow and something that will teach them something. And so Mixed, for me, or for us, is just so stunning in that sense, because it is literally a living, breathing, live gallery of artists in any way, shape and form. So yes, I am very excited about it. Not gonna just talk about it. I'm gonna read their description as well because
It's quite powerful.
I think it's really powerful and I won't be able to do it justice. So Mixed is a youth-led cultural movement, a curated space where South African creatives don't just showcase, they become art. Mixed blends fashion, music, tattoo culture, live art, food, photography, storytelling, and self-expression into a living, breathing gallery. It's not an event, it's a creative rebellion designed to shift the culture and power a new wave of talent. So it's a platform for emerging brands, underrepresented artists, and for future icons. It's a community of misfits, visionaries, makers, and movers built by people who believe in the power of creative identity. The first Mixed event, live event, is on the 28th of June, which is a Saturday. And I would highly recommend just coming to have a look. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Also, the lineup is insane. So we'll tag them on our socials.
Yes.
Please go have a look.
About the event.
And yeah, event's going to be amazing. It is in Centurion for anyone who's wondering. But yeah, highly recommend. Running with Scissors will also be there. We are very excited about it. And we hope you are keen to join in.
Yeah, we'll hope to see you there.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week. Love you. Bye.